Good evening. Welcome in here to Sciotos. We bring you the Lewistown Lady Indians taking on the Cyclones here tonight. It is Grandparents' Night, John. So welcome to all the grandparents out in the audience tonight. There's a lot of them up here in the crowd. If you get a shot, kind of a pan through the crowd if you would there. And folks, I would point out my mother, but she'd kill me. But anyway, we're going to have that. Just so you know, folks, like we always do, we'll have one stream and then switch over to the other one. We will have the Grandparents' Night before the varsity game, and we'll record it so you can watch it back here. So time ticking away, John, as we're heading fairly close to the postseason, as the Cyclones will wrap the season up on the 21st of October, which is 9 days from today. So this is going to be a race to the finish, John. Now is when you want to be playing your best volleyball.
Yeah, and the Cyclones took a tough loss last week to Southeastern, and I know at the tournament it would have been Saturday, not playing to the best of their abilities, so looking for a bounce-back game here tonight against Lewistown.
And that's going to be the thing, is trying to figure out a way to, you know, get things going. I mean, that's going to be trying to play well, trying to get back into things. We're going to stop off with a quick commercial timeout. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
And that's what happens when the old man has about 14 things in his hand at once, and he's trying to do 16 things all at the same time. Anyway, I know you probably didn't want to hear that, but excuses are excuses. But do want to thank JoJo's Gaming Parlor, offering the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. And I will tell you, John, what I am feverishly looking up is I know they have put out the schedules for the regional, and of course the regional for girls volleyball will be in this area. And I'm telling you what, the team that's on the floor, going to be on the floor taking on West Prairie, and the Southeastern Lady Suns look to be possible heading here into West Prairie. So make that top to bottom a very, very tough regional, John.
Yeah, and like you said, all of these games down the stretch matter. Just being able to build momentum going into those regionals. As we said, West Prairie took a tough L last week and, again, didn't play the best they could in the tournament on Saturday. Looking for a bounce-back game tonight, looking to build momentum heading into the end of the season.
And still tracking down here the West Prairie regional. I'll get it for you in just a second. And here it is on Monday, October 25th at 6 p.m. It'll be North Fulton versus Abingdon-Avon. Tuesday, West Prairie takes on West Central. And United versus Bushnell, that a twofer. And then Wednesday, it is Hartsburg-Emden versus the winner of North Fulton and Abingdon-Avon. And actually, it appears that Southeastern did not end up in this regional. So I guess if you could maybe say that's they actually ended up, as they were the 2 seed in that regional, they ended up over at Havana. So how about that? That was one I had not expected. I was just almost sure that they would be here at West Prairie. So I guess a little bit of a surprise that way. As we tick down, I know we've got 1 or 2 broadcasts left for you coming up here over the next couple of weeks, folks, as we tick down the home games. And, of course, glad you've been alongside all season long. Do want to thank folks like the Community News Brief for all your local news. Subscribe to the Community News Brief, a weekly edition mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All of this for only $42 per year or $38 per year for 65 and over. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. Starters tonight for the Lewiston Lady Indians under head coach Sonia Baldwin, longtime head coach. McKenna Johnson is the libero. It'll be Landry Smith, Shanna Judd, Gracie Taylor, Lexi Cruzand, Abby Wiegand, and Maya O'Brien. For the red-clad with baby blue numerals Lewiston Lady Indians. For the Cyclones, Jersey Brown, Callie Wright, Lindsey Dunn, as Jersey Brown replaces Wright. Also, Paige Kitch, Taylor Richardson, Ava Beck, and Janie Phelps will start with the serve. Again, glad you're alongside TSSR Game Time Live here. And, of course, please say thank you to one Mr. Dwayne Hewlett. Makes all this possible. One Mr. John Burton, who puts up with me on a regular basis. Serve into the back row. Low, deep, and generally unplayable. Now, this was a problem versus Southeastern, too, John. The Cyclones had a lot of trouble getting the serves in.
Yeah, the Cyclones in the first set of the Southeastern matchup last week for the varsity teams was able to hang with Southeastern throughout most of it, but a few service errors here and there, and it just snowballed for them. And towards the end of the first set, resulted in a loss in that set, and mostly continued over into the second set.
And on that one, it was Taylor trying to get it up front to the setter Smith. Couldn't do it. And now Paige Kitch will serve. Kitch in the back row. Underneath it is Wiegand. Up at the net, she can't get it out of there from Bryant, and it'll be 2-1 West Prairie. The error bug seems to have been contagious. Paige Kitch swats at it again, serves it across. And that one taken in the back row, popped up, and from Judd, tipped over and down by Cruzan, and that'll make it a point for Lewiston and a side out. Evens us up here at 2 apiece. And happy days, we did get the scoreboard back so you can keep track at home. Serve coming across by Cruzan off of Brown, up for Phelps to run after. She'll set it up for Moore, who will hit it out beyond the out stick, and just like the fair pole in baseball, the out stick is always the out stick. Serve again, low line drive, right between Kitch and Brown, split the uprights, and makes it 4-2. And a good serve by Wiegand. It's one of those, it makes it hard on the decision making, John, because you can't tell who's going to go get it.
Yeah, just perfectly placed on that serve there, and another nice one over the net.
And they're going to whistle Phelps for, they're actually going to whistle for her for a double hit as she was trying to dig that one out of the net. Lewiston takes a 5-2 advantage. Wind and send by Wiegand, back row right side to Kitch. Phelps will set it up for Richardson. She'll hit that one. The home run ball. Cleveland wins the pennant. Tell you what, I'd give anybody $1 that if they could figure out what movie that is. 6-2 Lewiston. Wiegand over the head of Moore, down and good.
West Prairie needing a big play here to get back on track, as Lewiston is now up 7-2, and a timeout here by the West Prairie Cyclones.
And we'll thank some of our fine sponsors as well. This West Prairie game stream made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. Talk to Daphne or Evan today at Tom Conklin State Farm in Macomb for surprisingly great rates. Call them at 309-837-1200 or stop and see them at 1221 West Jackson Street, Macomb. It's another one of those things, West Prairie the last, what do you say, about week and a half, John, have had a little trouble digging themselves in big holes, and they're in the process now.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that coaches will always preach to you. It's much easier to have a lead and build on that lead than it is to dig yourself out of a hole that you create for yourself. So we'll see a nice play there, digging that one up by Lewiston.
Smith brought it up, and now to Beck, and she'll, for the Cyclones, she'll whack it out of bounds, and that's kind of been the story of this game one for the Cyclones so far. Wiegand after it again. Low line drive. Brown up with it. Phelps will back set it to Moore to bump over, and it's taken by Johnson in the back row. So set to the middle, and that one creamed out of bounds by Cruzan. I guess she said, anything you can do, I can do better, and sent it screaming out. So that'll earn a side out for West Prairie, and it doesn't matter how you get it. Needed a side out. Jersey Brown will serve into the back row, and Wiegand takes it. Popped on the outside, tipped over by Judd. Phelps tries to get it on the run and cannot get there in time. Drops in for an 8-4 Lewiston advantage. Wiegand will go after it again. Actually, no, that is Wiegand. That is actually Maya O'Brien. Phelps will set it up. Ava Beck with it. That one's good, in, down, and good. And makes the lead 9-4. Phelps will come out. Clark will come in for her, as Ava Beck will go back to serve. Beck readies with it. A couple slap dribbles, serve across into the back row. Johnson high in the air with it. Set up there by Judd, and actually they're going to whistle a double hit. So West Prairie cuts it to 9-5. They will bring it across again. Serve is taken in the back row, popped up by Wiegand, set in the middle. That one knocked down by Cruzan, but Beck popped it up, but nobody could help her in the back row. 10-5, side out for Lewiston. As Johnson will come back to serve. Going out is Cruzan. Coming in is Taylor. Serve, Moore can't get it. Drop in and good. It is 11-5.
Southeastern, or not Southeastern, sorry, I'm still caught up in last week. Lewiston has done a great job serving here early and is able to result in a couple of big points for them.
Right with that one, hits it out of bounds, and I'm telling you, it's one of those things, if it can go wrong, it has so far for the Cyclones.
Yeah, as we said, volleyball, a momentum-based sports, and there is no momentum on the side of the Cyclones. Numerous hitting errors, and it's resulted in a big lead for Lewiston.
And that one right, going to tip it over. Nice attempt there by Smith, but just couldn't bring it back up, so the Cyclones get a side out. 12-6 lead here for Lewiston. Lindsey Dunn in to serve. Nat Moore comes out. Serve by Dunn, drops it over and flipped across. Beauty of a play by Smith. Wiegand hit her a hot smash, and nice job flipping that over. Ups it to 13-6. And the jump slurve will come up. Beck will set it up for Wright to bump over. And now a little trouble at the back row. Johnson helps it out, and Lewiston not able to knock it over. Cyclones get it back here. Taylor Richardson in, Jersey Brown out, and now back to serve. Comes Callie Wright. Wright, low line drive. Johnson able to pop it up, helped out, and then finally tipped over by Judd. The Cyclones not able to get it. It drops down and home, 14-7. I've got to be kind of impressed, John. Lewiston's, been able to bring some balls up we maybe didn't think they would.
Yeah, the back row players for Lewiston have done a good job digging up these hits from the Cyclones and really not making many errors all around, and it's resulted in a big lead for them here early, as that one's going to drop to the floor and result in another Lewiston serve.
And that serve by Smith coming across. Beck will set it out for Kitch. She'll tip it over. Popped up by Wiegand, set for the back row attack, and that one hit into the net by Judd, so a big side out there for the Cyclones. Phelps will come in, and Clark will go out for West Prairie. Janie Phelps will serve it here. She'll let it go. Her serve into the net, and that one has been a struggle so far for the Cyclones here. 16-8. Gracie Taylor serves. Off of Brown. Phelps up with it over to Beck. Beck pounds it off the hands of Wiegand and down. And I don't know, John, and that's one of the things, I'm not good enough to judge such stuff, but man, I don't know. That's one of those you're not sure if she wouldn't have touched it, if it would have gone out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely. Ava Beck does have a very good spike on her. So far in this matchup, she's been able to not really control it so well, hitting a few out of bounds, but when she's able to put it down like that, we saw it last, it's able to result in some big plays for West Prairie.
Wiegand helps it out to Judd, tapped across by Wiegand. Brown's got it. They back set it for Beck, and she'll lob it across, taken by Smith. Now they set it to the outside. Tipping it over was O'Brien. Phelps on the run, sets over to Moore. Popped up, Johnson helps it out, and then hammered through. Kitch up with it. Phelps on the fly up to Moore. She'll tip, and Johnson's there for Lewiston. Up for Smith to the outside. Wiegand back row to Brown. Phelps on the run again for Beck, and she'll hit it just over the net and down and good. And I believe that is one of the few times the Cyclones have scored 2 points in a row. Kitch lets it go again. Low line drive. Popped right back to the Cyclones. Richardson up with it. Phelps. And that one double hit, so makes it 17-10. And Clark going to come in. Janie Phelps will go out. Served by Wiegand. Off of Brown. Beck can't recover it, so it makes it 18-10.
And again, this Lewiston team has done a great job serving the ball here. As we've seen West Prairie having some struggles returning those serves.
And that one hit into the net. Cruzan popped it up, and Smith was not able to get it back out of there, so it makes it 18-11. Side out over to West Prairie. Brown serves it over. Popped up by Smith, set to the outside to Wiegand. And now Brown up with it. Beck going to help it out. And Moore hits it. That one reach out in the one-hander by Judd. Couldn't get it. It drops down and home for an 18-12 Lewiston lead. Brown again with the high serve. Sent back across and out of bounds by Lewiston. And there's kind of there's the momentum that they needed. As Brown pounds it again, up to the net, to Smith, over for Wright to pop up, flip back across. Clark is there on the hit from Cruzan, and now flipped over by Wright, but flipped over and out of bounds, and makes it 19-13. Serving with it is O'Brien. Serve high in the air off of Moore, high up for Beck. Beck bring it up for Wright, flip it across. O'Brien flipped over by Smith, and West Prairie plays it. Up for Moore, and she'll hit it out of bounds. That makes it 20-13. Up with the serve. Comes O'Brien, serve is across and drops right in front of Moore. And Lindsey Dunn will come in. Nat Moore will go out.
And again, as we saw right there, West Prairie having a hard time returning these serves from Lewiston, specifically Maya O'Brien.
Serve by O'Brien, back row off Kitch. Beck going to help it out. Dunn wanders up to it, tips it across. O'Brien is there. Smith in the middle, tipped over by Cruzan. Brown brings it up to Beck. She'll spike it over, and a nice job lacing that one in and good. It is 21-14. Ava Beck will go back to serve, and we'll have a substitution coming in for Lewiston is number 9. That is Taylor Malott. Beck serves it hard and serves it out of bounds. And that makes it a 22-14. Coming out is Alexi Cruzan. Coming back to serve, it is Johnson. Johnson serve, back row. Popped up by Kitch. Brown helps it out. Clark hits that one into the net. It is 23-14. As things starting to, it's one of those things, the train wreck. You can't get out of the way. Give Lewiston a lot of credit. They've served tough. Beck up front to right with it. Dug up there by Malott. Set up now, and is Wiegand bringing it back row. Beck. Brown, now back to Beck, and she'll launch that one out of bounds. It is game point, 24-14. Johnson serves it high in the air off of Brown. Beck up to right. Right loaded up, stuffed up there. Nice job by Taylor. And that is a game 1 win for Lewiston as they win that one 25-14. That'll usher us into our next game here. We're going to take this commercial timeout. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. He said, "You better come home because there's no roof." He said, "I look up and see the sky." He didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, but Country Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
Well, John, what is it they say? The best players have the shortest memories? Because that's what the Cyclones really, with a game like that, that's what you got to do. You just got to forget it and let it go. You just got to forget it, walk away from it, and focus on getting this next game to force it into 3. That's really the only thing you can do.
Yeah, and much credit to Lewiston. They played very well in the first game. As you said, tough serve and not very many errors all around. But if you're West Prairie, you have to be capitalized on the few errors that they make. And just when it seems like they were starting to get momentum back on the side, you see a service error, a hitting error up front, and those are just errors that you can't have if you want to be digging yourself out of holes that you create for yourself in the beginning of the games.
Exactly. Good Hope Gardens located at 445 East Main Street, Good Hope, just east of the North Elementary School, open April through October, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for all your fresh produce needs. Be sure to follow their Facebook page for daily updates. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it is grown. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. Yetter Farm Equipment, with facilities in Colchester and Macomb, Illinois, is an agriculture equipment manufacturer that has been in business since 1930 and is currently hiring. Start a new career with excellent benefits and starting hourly wages of $18 to $24 per hour. For more information, call 309-776-4111 or visit them online at www.yetterco.com/careers. Just some of our very fine sponsors here on TSSR Game Time Live. And, of course, many of them helping us out all year long. You'll see them in basketball. You'll see them through the other sports. Now, don't forget basketball or football. They are playing the game tomorrow night is actually at 6 p.m., and that is a huge schedule change as football tomorrow night instead of on Friday. So I guess it's Thursday night lights. Or Thursday night dusk, I guess.
That's what you want to call it.
And let's check the starting lineups for the two teams on the floor for West Prairie. Annika Clark, Taylor Richardson, Ava Beck, Paige Kitch, Lindsey Dunn, and Jersey Brown. For the Lewiston Lady Indians right now on the floor, number 25, that is Ada Kripe. Serve across, and that one popped up there by Gracie Taylor. Kitch with it, sends it across, down and good, off of Cruzan. So that earns a 1-0 lead here for West Prairie. Janie Phelps into serve. And Phelps serves, screaming line drive across the net to Dunn. She'll put it up there, hit backwards. Pomped high in the air there by Judd, tipped across. Kitch is with it. Phelps going to back set it. Beck will tip it across and kind of popped up by Kripe. Rolled over and Beck is underneath it. Phelps going to set it high for Kitch. She'll hammer it through off the blocks and popped up by Smith. Helped up front, and that one hit into the net. 2-0 West Prairie lead. Phelps back again to serve with a 2-0 lead. And that one comes off the side of her hand. She has struggled here tonight at the serve. And now Johnson going to come in. She'll be replaced. As coming back to serve is, we'll get that in a minute. Cyclones with it. Phelps will hit it over, and Johnson able to dig it up. Set up by Smith. Tipped across, and that one out of bounds. And they're going to say that one was in. And Terry Paul not agreeing with that one. It is a 2-2 tie. The official said it was in. Coming back to serve once again is Gracie Taylor. Taylor, line drive off of Dunn. Phelps underneath it. Set high for Beck. Unloads it, hits the tape, and brought back up by Judd. Helped out and bumped over, and that one out of bounds as Cruzan hits it out. Makes it 3-2 West Prairie. Nat Moore in, and Lindsey Dunn goes out for West Prairie.
Paige Kitch with the serve here. Booms it over.
Serve is across. It is grandparents' night, so I have multiple jobs. So that one they, with Jason Finch whispering in my ear. We'll get that in a minute. Hit through by Judd. Phelps up for Moore. Moore will bring it across, and Judd brings it up again. Landry Smith. Hit across by and help by Taylor. Cyclones get it up. Paige Kitch brings it across, and Johnson's got it up to the net. And that one flipped back. Phelps again will set it. Over it comes from Moore. She'll hit it down and good, and a big side out for West Prairie. Cyclones trying to fight their way to a third game here as Paige Kitch will serve it. Kitch low unloads it, drops it in front of Johnson. Bandage up an ace for Paige Kitch. That's going to bring in as Kripe will go out. Coming back into the contest will be Taylor Malott. Kitch back to serve again, lets it go. Steaming line drive off Johnson. Up it comes. And now set up Malott. Tipped across by Judd. Phelps underneath it. Brown going to bring it back for Beck. She'll tip and hit the top of the tape with it. So a 5-3 side out over to Lewiston. Maya O'Brien in. Malott goes out for Lewiston. And ready to serve is O'Brien. O'Brien. Serve short. Off Kitch. Phelps going to pop it up over to Moore. Drops over and good. Nice job by Cruzan. And the Cyclones extend their lead out to 6-3. O'Brien going out. Malott coming back in. Jersey Brown to serve. As they'll let it go here. Jersey Brown. 6-3. Cyclones lead in game 2. Brown pounds that one near the back line. Taylor is right there underneath it. Set up. Hit through by Judd. Helped out by Beck and rolled over by Moore. Johnson diving save. Malott over with it. Kitches up. Phelps on the fly. Pops it up. And Beck, nice job to bring it over. Malott saves. In the middle. Flipped across. Beck going to bring it right back over. And Judd's underneath it. Back by Smith. Phelps up with it. To Brown. Over to Beck. And she'll pound it through. Malott digs in the back row. And now Malott will bump it over from Smith. Right to Phelps. Set up for right. Tipped. Nice job by Smith to keep it alive. Back to the net. Flipped over. Moore. Phelps back set for Beck. Little too long and out of bounds. Boy, what a great rally between the two teams, John.
Yeah, that was a good rally there as both these teams starting to turn up the heat a little bit. West Prairie has definitely come out to play in this second set, and they have a 2-point lead here.
Serve by Johnson. And that's one of those kind of went outside ran. Clark in. Phelps out for West Prairie. 7-4 lead for Lewiston. Ava Beck readies with it. Comes across, and Malott is there. Smith outside, tapped across. That one pushed through. And up for right off of Johnson. Nobody going to be able to get it. As that drops in and good, Schubert is trying after it.
As you said, West Prairie's looked pretty good here in this second set, cutting down on the upfront hitting errors. Don't know if that's something that Coach Paul was telling them during our little break there, but they are definitely fired up here in the second set.
Back off of Johnson. Schubert tried to help it and did, in a way, helped it out of bounds. It is 9-4. 9-4 the lead for West Prairie. Back again, low line drive, popped by Malott over into the bleachers and makes it 10-4, valued companion. Thought maybe Sonia Baldwin was getting up to call a timeout, and so did the official, and had kind of retracted. I guess you can turn the timeout signal into a minus signal real quick. Ava Beck up to it again. Her serve, screaming line drive again off Johnson. Malott up with it, tipped over by Taylor. Helped out up front to Beck. She come back, set it for Clark, and she'll hit it down the line. And they're going to say in on the back line and good. So now 11-4 West Prairie leading. And we've got a timeout called by the Cyclones. We're going to take this commercial timeout. And you're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MD.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
The old guy was trying to do the 4 jobs that I have at once, and not a one of them worked, did they? John laughs at me when I say these things, but it is true. Served by Ava Beck off of Johnson. Malott going to pop it high. Smith going to launch it out of bounds.
In much of the same way that West Prairie dug a big hole for themselves in the first set, Lewiston here, being down 12-4, is going to have to try and claw their way back into this game, as West Prairie has been playing exceptionally well.
Beck serves that one right past Johnson, and it is good. 13-4. So the Cyclones trying to build a little momentum here. As they go back to work, here comes Ava Beck once again. Beck. Line drive off of Johnson, hits sideways. Helped up there by Judd, tipped across by Smith. Clark couldn't quite get it up to right. She'll tip it, kept alive by Lewiston. Over it comes. Nice job by them. They tip it back. Malott again. Oh, and a nice try. Johnson flipped it up. I'm telling you, 2 at the floor saves, John, by Lewiston.
Yeah, a couple of big saves there. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to result in any points, but a great play nonetheless.
Beck with it, screaming it across off Johnson. Malott back sets it and sets it out of bounds. It is 15-4.
West Prairie's really dialed in their serving here in the second set. We saw a few uncharacteristic serving errors in the first set, but they've cut back on them, and it's resulted in a big lead here.
Ava Beck pounding that one right past Schubert and good. And it makes it 16-4. Cyclones flexing their muscle here. And volleyball's a momentum game, man, when things turn south for you. Serve is off Johnson. Gonna be back set at the net is Judd looping it, and out of bounds it goes. 17-4. 17-4 lead here. Cyclones shooting for a game 3, and I don't know when we've had a game 3. John, not that I don't want to see one, but it hasn't seemed like we've had a lot of them.
It definitely has been a while.
And that's going to bring Judd back to serve here for Lewiston. And she'll serve it off. And Brown in the back row, set up for more. Actually, it went across. And now Smith puts it back. Jersey Brown with a nice run, but can't get there. And Lewiston with a couple in a row. 17-6. (17-6). Serve by Judd. Drops in front of Kitchen. Good. And Lewiston 3 in a row now. They're trying to build a little momentum here. Serve comes again. Judd off of Moore. Beck on the run to it. Hit up by Clark.
And that one's going to be tipped out of bounds by Lewiston. Serve back to West Prairie. Looks like Lindsey Dunn will be coming in to serve.
And now Lindsey Dunn in to serve here for West Prairie. Thank you, young man, for picking me up there. Serve up to Smith. Set up for Wiegand, and now brought up by Beck to bring across, and good.
Nice play there from Beck, catching Lewiston off guard with the soft tip over the net.
Lindsey Dunn ready to send it on the way once again. Fires it across. Off of Johnson. Flipped over by Smith. Brown takes it back row. Beck pops it up. Wright gonna flip it over. Johnson is there. Malott helps it out. And now Judd across court with it. Lindsey Dunn pops it high. Beck loads up for Paige Kitch. She'll tip. And Schubert got it up, but nobody could get there in time to help her. And the Cyclones with a 20-7 lead. We've got a timeout by Lewiston. You're listening and watching TSSR Game Time Live. For that, right. Grandparents, would you please gather in the lobby as we get ready to celebrate Grandparents Night? Again, grandparents, would you please gather in the lobby? Thank you. And again, apologies, folks, because Greg wears about 15 different hats. If I had a hat, it would have like 8 bills on it or something. Yeah.
Yes, but you are greatly appreciated for all the work that you do, Greg.
Well, I appreciate that, young man. And all the grandparents are filing out. Serve coming over, popped up by Judd. Now back set. It is going to be Smith hitting it through. Beck going to bring it to the net, and that one going to hit the official stand, which is out. So it is 20-8, and Lewiston, Ada Kripe going to come in. Malott comes out, and Lewiston got some work to do if they're going to get back in this one. West Prairie needs to finish them off. Serve into the back row by Dunn, popped high. Beck going to back sit, and she and Wright ran into each other as they were trying to get it. Makes it 20-9. 20-9. Smith winding up with it again. Deep back row. Brown takes it. Beck got a back set it. Now Wright with it. Nice job putting it down the block of Taylor. And it makes it 21-9. Taylor Richardson in. Out comes Jersey Brown. Callie Wright will serve it here now. And the official stopping for the appropriate shoe tying. Callie Wright lets it go. Out to Johnson. Smith gonna pop it high. Kripe gets into it, and that one passed right and out of bounds. And the officials will say it was out. Makes it 22-9. Lewiston wanting a touch. I thought pretty sure it was touched. Served by Wright, kind of off side of her hand. Johnson gets it, and it stayed in. That was a kind of a lucky break because you could tell Callie Wright, John, hit it off the side of her hand, but it stayed in.
Yeah, as you said, off the side of the hand, but luck is on the side of the West Prairie Cyclones here in the second set.
And just as we say that, the broadcaster curse as Wright sends it out of bounds. Brown will come in to replace her. Back to serve is Gracie Taylor. Johnson comes out. As coming back in is Cruzan. Serve off of Dunn, popped high in the air, up to the net, tipped and returned by Cruzan, who says, "Thou hath not deposited, thou shalt not get a return." 23-11. Schubert again, line drive off of Dunn, high up to Beck. Beck flips it through. Set up by Judd. Outside it is Schubert, and Dunn right there to dig it. Beck up for Clark. Clark will tip it, and Kripe takes it. Popped high, Kripe will send it across. Clark mishit it, and he'll make it 23-11. So Lewiston trying to hang in there. The Indians trying to hang in. Serve is through. Popped high. And Kitch coming to it. Schubert going to help it up. Tipped across. And Beck going to pop it high. Brown helps it out. Clark up to it. Lobs that one over. And that's one of those. Smith kind of jumped in front of her teammate. It is 24-12. And Annika Clark will get a chance to finish it off here. Her serve off Johnson, hits sideways, and that's a game winner. And we'll head to a game number 3 of the set. As each team with a game, so feel a little bad for the grandparents. They all ended up out in the lobby. As a game 3 coming here between the two teams. We're going to take this timeout. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
You know, you see fires on TV all the time. You don't understand what the families are really going through until you've lived it. The day before the fire, life was good. We went to bed, we woke up, and we had nothing. If it was not for Country Financial, we would still have nothing.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
Back here as we head to game number 3, the Cyclones picking up the game 2 win and trying to extend it out here. And again, it is Grandparents' Night, so going to be a little bit longer of a break, but we'll try to tape Grandparents' Night so everybody can see it. As on the floor for West Prairie is Taylor Richardson, Annika Clark, Paige Kitch, Ava Beck, Lindsey Dunn, Callie Wright, and Jersey Brown. And again, big comeback, big real push ahead by the Cyclones there. And as I said, John, that's what you got to do. You got to forget about game number 1. And, you know, you just, as I say, the best players have the shortest memories. You forget it, and now you see what they did. They came back and really took over that game number 2.
Yeah, West Prairie was really able to cut down on the service errors, the hitting errors, and I would even say they did a great job serving in that game. Many points coming off the serve, not giving Lewiston very many chances to serve themselves. But I really don't know what to expect here in this third set, Greg, as we saw Lewiston ran away with the first one and West Prairie ran away with the second one. It'll be an interesting third set here. Somebody will run away with the third one. That's if I'm using my what are they? Scientific proof. Yeah, something like that. Trying to form a hypothesis. I am not a scientist. I am a broadcaster. So there we go with that. On the floor for the Lewiston Lady Indians, it is Ada Kripe, also joined out there by Lexi Cruzan, Landry Smith, Shanna Judd, Gracie Taylor, and Maya O'Brien. For the Cyclones, it is Annika Clark, Taylor Richardson, Ava Beck, Paige Kitch, Lindsey Dunn, and Jersey Brown. Serve off of Brown, hit sideways. Clark pops it up, and Richardson sends it over. Kripe couldn't get it, but Judd helps her out and sent through. Brown is with it for West Prairie. Set up for Clark. She'll hit it, and it'll bounce off the net, down and in. Just able to slice that one in there on the inside of the out stick.
And now Janie Phelps will come in. Focus! Sorry, that's my daughter. Dad has to coach every now and then. Serve picked up, and oops. The whoopsie drops between Kripe and Judd. And that's one of those, they yell at people to talk. Phelps brings that one on. That picks on a Cruzan once again and makes it 3-0. 3-0 lead here. Janie Phelps standing back in. I know she was over at the land use contest for FFA today. That one back off of Johnson. Smith gonna pop it high. O'Brien, that one rides the net and down. Didn't matter whether anyone touched it. And West Prairie now leads it 4-0. 4-0 the lead here. Phelps again, that one kind of a sideways spin to it. Smith for Cruzan, hit into the net. And makes it 5-0. 5-0 advantage here for the Cyclones in game number 3. Janie Phelps, that one again, screaming across line up to Cruzan. And Richardson trying to flip it back across, hits it into the net. And it makes it 5-1. And their idea was right. Just didn't quite work out. 5-1 West Prairie game 3. Maya O'Brien towing it up now. Sends it high to Brown. Phelps with it out to Beck. She'll pound it off of Smith, and Cruzan helps it high. Tapped over and touched at the net, but they just could not control it. It is 5-2.
West Prairie jumped out to an early lead thanks to the nice serving by Janie Phelps, and now Lewiston looking to storm back into this one.
Bryant, another high, deep floater. Phelps up with it, out for Beck. She'll tip, drop it in, and good. Oh, they're going to say out of bounds. Say it was out. So 5-3. O'Brien will send it again. And O'Brien not doing anything special. I mean, it's a deep, high floater. Lindsay Dunn up with it. Phelps, back set for Kitch. She'll bring it across. Smith there. O'Brien up to the net. Judd going to help it through, and Brown's got it for West Prairie. Phelps with it for Richardson. She'll get under it and knock it out of bounds. And they're going to say no one touched it, so it is 5-4. Maya O'Brien sends it over. Kitch up with it. Phelps helps it high. Beck flips it over. And that one is good. Boy, the official, that took a while. I didn't know whether they were calling to New York to get a review on that one or not. What would that be? After further review, the play stands? Or
not enough evidence to overturn, Greg.
Either that or would the call be confirmed. Kitch serves that one off of Cruzan. 7-4. West Prairie back up by 3. Maybe we could call Dwayne and he could, rewind the tape for him and we could get the angles on it.
I think that could definitely be a future job for him, for us.
Kripe coming out. Malott coming in. Kitch burns that one to Johnson. Smith helps it up. Here comes Judd. Attacks back row. Brown up with it. Phelps. She'll set it high for Moore. And Judd is there. Malott up for Cruzan. Brown a little trouble with it. Drops it down. And Lewiston makes it 7-5. And that's what happened when somebody tries to call you while you're in the middle of the volleyball game. My apologies. We have lots of things going on at the broadcast. Malott pounds it off of Brown. Phelps up with it. Set high in the middle for Beck. Little too long and out of bounds.
Just when it looked like West Prairie is going to run away with this game, much as they did in the second set, Lewiston storming right back into this one, and a nice serve there. Result in a Lewiston point, and man, it's starting to snowball for them here early.
7-7 tie here between the two teams in Game 3. We're going to stomp aside for a moment, pay the bills. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH Events. Live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushel. Cheer our area teams on to victory. I will wet my whistle if you are playing the home game. Consume. As Malott lets it rip. Off of Brown, Phelps up with it. And that one, they're going to whistle her for a violation. 8-7. Malott, couple of dribbles, sends it high. Off of Brown, up it comes for Phelps. She'll back set it. Richardson into it, and it hits that one off the side of her hand, makes it 9-7. 9-7, 2-point lead. They were down 4-0, so they have run off a 9-3 run. And that one off the side of her hand and down. So a big break there for the Cyclones. Taylor Richardson out, Callie Wright in, as coming back to serve is Jersey Brown. Brown pounds it, and right back over to the Cyclones. Phelps up with it, and nobody took it.
Could prove to be a drastic miscommunication there from the Cyclones, as they were looking to turn things back in their favor, but as we said, a miscommunication there in the front row, and it's going to result in a Lewiston serve.
Schubert brings it up for Lewiston. Over it comes to Judd down the line. Phelps pops it high. Beck helps it out, and now Wright will take it, but hit it into the net. And you kind of tell because she was kind of trying to hit it what I'd call side saddle. And now Terry Paul will talk it over again. So will we. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
Back here at Scioto, glad you're alongside. And again, it is Grandparents' Night here, celebrating their many, many wonderful grandpas, grandmas that are helping along here. Johnson will serve for Lewiston, leading 11-8. Serve off the top of the net, no good, and it'll make it 11-9 back to West Prairie. Clark in, Phelps out for West Prairie. Beck comes to it, brings that one line drive off Johnson. Smith brings it high over to Taylor. Taylor cuts court, Richardson underneath it, and again, nobody home. As nobody talking there, and it drops down and in. Maya O'Brien in, Schubert out for the Indians. At the serve again, it is Shanna Judd. Judd off of Moore, up to Beck. She'll set outside for Clark. That one through the hands of O'Brien and down. Makes it 12-10. Side out back to West Prairie. Nat Moore out, Lindsey Dunn in. As Dunn will go back to dribble. Her serve high and deep. And Judd brings it back over. Cyclone's not quite ready for it. And man, you have got to be ready at all times here. That's going to bring Kripe back in and Malott out for Lewiston. As Landry Smith will serve. Oh, weird sidewinder serve. Going to be loaded up for Wright. Wright hits it into the net for West Prairie. It is 14-10. Paige Kitchen, Madison Richmond goes out for West Prairie. That's 14-10. Serve, Landry Smith back again to let it go. And has a weird spin on it up to Brown. Back out for Kitch. Kitch will tip it long and catch O'Brien again. Paige Kitch has been deadly with that tip, John.
Yeah, and we've seen it all year, just tipping that one nice and soft to the opposite side of the net. Usually works for her, and as we see right there, gets a big point for West Prairie as they try to go on a run here.
Right, sends it across. Popped high by Judd, and Crepe tried to get to it, couldn't. Helped out there nicely by Taylor, and then confusion on West Prairie, and actually it was just, I guess, JV game just plays to 15, so a loss for the West Prairie JV, 15-11 in that last game. Tell you what, folks, we're going to step aside for just a little bit. Lewiston getting the win there, and we'll be back with Grandparents' Night in just a moment. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Thanks for tuning us in. Thanks for tuning us in.